Hi everyone, welcome to the team call on Wednesday, November 11th. I am going to start with a few quick announcements. The challenge group deadline is tonight for the group starting on November 16th. So please make sure that not only you have signed up, but all coaches on your team. So that may mean that you have to private message each of them individually to get them to comment on that post and say that they are in and that they've filled out the doc and everything. Please make sure you are responsible for your team members, okay? It helps us greatly. Jen and I have to do these groups tomorrow to have the numbers in the correct form by tonight. If you do have exceptions, like if somebody rolls in tomorrow and wants to buy a challenge pack or the next day, please reach out to me or Jen. Don't just assume that it's too late. Talk to us and let us know. Maybe we can work something out, because especially with people having the free 30-day access to BOD when they buy the challenge pack, they will have access to workouts right away. So if it works with the numbers, we'll get them in. Make sure that you've spoken to all of your current challengers about continuing on with the coach opportunity. The exit video should have been posted in all challenge groups by now, so you should have followed up on that, and you need to be closing that conversation. And for any of you that had participants in the 7-day free group that ended this weekend, make sure you followed up with those people as well. That group has been closed down, so you do need to reach out to them via private message. Next week, we will not have a team call on Wednesday, and that is for two reasons. On Monday night, the Team Perseverance call will have a very special guest speaker, and that guest speaker will be Tanya Barron, and I know most of you know who Tanya is. Tanya is the modifier in the T25 workout programs. She's also in the size dance workouts. She is Shaun T's best friend, and she's also an elite coach. So she has just a ton of insight to share with all of us about just Beachbody in general and coaching. So I really, really want as many people as possible to be able to spend the time and have access to Tanya. So we'd rather not ask you to spend 2 nights on team calls to make sure that you get that one in if you can only do one. So that will be Monday night at 8:30, and Jen and I will be sure to share the sign up or sign in information for the Zoom call for Monday. Also on Tuesday night is our next What is Coaching live 1-hour event. We had a very successful first 1-hour event, and we're really excited about this next one. We want to do these as monthly events, monthly opportunities for you to talk to people about coaching in the easiest and least stressful and most just kind of relaxed way. This really should make your lives easier as far as talking to people directly about coaching. So we want as many of you as possible to find participants for the Tuesday night group. So that will be Tuesday night, the 17th, and that's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will touch on who to invite during the inviting portion of our presentation tonight.
Sharice, can I just say something?
Yes.
Okay, I just created the invitation for that now. It's a public invitation. It limited the number of co-hosts that it would let me add, so I just added a bunch of you guys, but I wasn't able to add all of you. Sharice and I will post the link in our groups after this call, and then you can add people to the invitation who you want to participate. The last one, like Sharice said, was awesome. You guys made it awesome, because you were participating the whole time, and it made it such an exciting hour. I mean, Sharice and I could barely keep up. It was really awesome. I got off that event and I was pumped up. It was awesome. So I'm so excited to do another one and to help our teams grow some more. So I'm excited for Tuesday.
Definitely, me too. And so we'll talk about that more in just a minute, but make sure that you have your calendars marked for Tuesday night. And then the other things coming up will be the 2 7-day free groups starting on December 1st, which will be a great time to reach out to people post-Thanksgiving, post people feeling like, oh my God, the holidays got me. I'm already feeling just stuffed and like I've let myself go from Thanksgiving. So it is an ideal time to be talking to people. The first group will be a more traditional 7-day free group, as we've done the past 2 times using the BOD schedule that we've created. And it will also have a healthy holiday treats theme. So for people who love recipes, this will be a great group for them to join in on. And Dina will be running that group, and she is just amazing with recipes and her photographs of food and her instructions. All of it's just done so beautifully. It looks so professional. So it's going to be a really nice group to be part of. So any people you know who are foodies, you just want to reach out to them for sure, because this is going to be great. And then the other 7-day free group starting that day will be run by Jen Clancy. And this is really a different approach for us, and one that we're super excited about. It's going to be an active 7-day free active fitness and nutrition maternity group. So this is for people who are in a family planning stage, or currently pregnant, or immediately postpartum. So this is a new niche of people for us to work with and to help, with their workouts and their nutrition. And Jen specifically, she was the doula for my daughter's birth, so she has tons of childbirth experience. She's Dr. Sears' childbirth educator, and she's just very knowledgeable in all things having to do with birth and pregnancy. So it will be really nice to have someone with a little bit of expertise, or a lot of expertise, running that group. It will be a workout schedule that is targeted specifically for people who are in those stages of life. There will be special tips for people that are, pregnant, family planning, and postpartum. So it's really a nice group, and a nice niche that we hope to follow through with. I don't know if it will be monthly. We'll see how the first one goes, but we would like to do this regularly going forward. So please keep that in mind. And, I'm sure that you all probably have at least one person that that can kind of fit one of those categories at this point. So think of those people and start thinking about them as prospects. So those are all of my announcements. Did I miss anything, Jen?
Nope, I think we're good.
Okay. So just give me 1 minute to pull up the presentation, and then I will share my screen. Kristen, the free maternity group is also December 1st, the same day as the other one. We felt like there wouldn't be a ton of overlap, and with the holidays and with the December challenge group, actually that should be another announcement, with the December challenge group starting December 14th, which is not the 3rd Monday of the month as we typically do. Because of the holidays, it's December 14th. We really didn't have a lot of wiggle room, but we did want to get started with these free groups.
And make sure, as you're pulling it up, make sure for the maternity group and for the 7-day group that involves the Beachbody On Demand, that all participants are signing up for the free account. For the maternity one, it would just be the regular free account, and they'll need the Beachbody On Demand, right? So for both, they'll have to sign up for the Beachbody On Demand free trial. They do have to give their credit card information. And guys, don't have people get sort of sticker shock, or, like, oh my God, when they see this form on the computer. Tell them, listen, when you go on, you're going to have to put in your credit card information, just like any free trial. You have up to 30 days to cancel it, and you will not be charged. If you're upfront with them, then they're not shocked and surprised when they see that. It's when you don't tell them, and then they go to sign up for the free account and have to put in their credit card information, that rightfully so, they get upset. They're like, oh, I'm not doing that. So definitely make sure you're making people aware of that.
Okay, sharing my screen. All right, so to move on to tonight's topic of inviting and handling objections, we wanted to cover this now because we really feel like this is a key time of year. We want everyone to end the year strong. This is a difficult time of year in a lot of ways, because people are focused on the holidays and they're not focused on their health. There's no bathing suit season around the corner. It's tough, but this is also the time that sets up your business for 2016 and sets you up for first quarter. And if you let things go now, you will not be able to capitalize on the biggest and most exciting time of year for Beachbody in first quarter of 2016. So this is the time to be focused on inviting for sure. So the first form of invitation that we're going to go over tonight is inviting via a Facebook event invite. I did that for my team this time around. Jen did that, and I also know that many of you have done your own event invites. But there are a lot of coaches who were seeing the event invite for the first time this time around, or just, were maybe curious, how do I do this on my own? So I just wanted to go over the basics of this. So you can create your own Facebook event invite. You can create one with your success partner. We very much encourage you to have a success partner. That's the way Jen and I work together. Or you can join in on one of the main team event invites, which would either have been created by myself or by Jen for our respective teams. Or if you have maybe a diamond coach who created one, like I know Katie was part of Matt, for instance, on my team, you can do that as well. Just make sure that you find a way to get involved with an event invite. Let me just check the chat here.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, thank you.
Can I just say one thing about the event invite, though?
Yeah.
If you're going to hop on mine or Sharice's or any other coach, do me a favor, send that person a private message, because sometimes I'll offer a promotion, like a free cookbook or a free shaker cup. And if you're doing that and when somebody signs up through that account, that sort of ties you into that promotion. So you just want to touch base with the person to see if they're offering any promotions during the event, and make sure you're comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with that, you should probably set up your own.
Very good point. Another thing is, if you create your event invite, you want to make sure that it's public. There's different settings. There's, secret, closed, or public, I think, are the three options for the event invite. So you want to pick public, because every time that you post within that event invite, your Facebook friends will see your posts, which is a really cool way to get more visibility in general. So that way everybody is watching what you put there, not just the people that you invited to the event invite. And you'll see what happens. You'll see random people that that you didn't invite to the event invite liking your posts that you put up within there. So it is showing up on your friends' timelines, and that's a great way to get visibility. You want to invite a large number of people. That's kind of the point. This is not the kind of thing where, you throw 100 people on there and then you're like, woohoo, I invited 100 people to my challenge group this month. This is not the event. This is not the invite itself. This is merely a stepping stone for you to then actually use the event invite as a way to invite. So don't pat yourself on the back just for adding the 50 to 100 people. That's just a little step. But you do want to invite a large number of people, because that's just how it works. I would aim for 50 as a minimum. And it's a very anonymous way to invite. I'm sure that you all get a ton of event invites from people for all different things. And you probably don't pay attention to most of them. So until you use the event invite as a tool within your private messaging follow-up, people are not really going to be paying too much attention to it overall. You want to post 1 to 3 times per day within the event invite at key posting times. And again, key posting times are first thing in the morning when everyone's up and getting ready, during what would be a typical lunch break for most people. Sometimes the 4 o'clock hour is pretty good for me, actually. Usually the 4 o'clock hour when people are winding down their day is even better than the morning. And then at night, whenever it would be past the time that people put their kids to bed, that's generally the other best time to post. So you want to post within the event invite 1 to 3 times per day. The kinds of things that you want to post there would be success stories, highlighting maybe some of the products that are on sale that month, like the challenge packs, but you don't want to be talking price or anything like that, but you just maybe want to say, like, for instance, size is on sale right now. You want to be talking about how cool size is, as an example. You can post motivational quotes there. You want people to get a feel for what this is about. If someone likes or comments on a post within the event invite, if they RSVP yes, or if they RSVP as interested, you want to make sure to private message them to discuss This is like, it just kind of takes away step one in the 5-step invitation process. So they've basically displayed some level of interest by doing that. So then you can private message them and go to step number 2, which is getting their why. So you'll say to them, oh, I noticed that you were interested in my event invite. That's awesome. Can I ask why you're curious about what we do in these groups? Or do you mind sharing a little bit about your health and fitness goals right now? I'd be happy to explain more if you can do that. You never, ever, 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 with any of the things that we're talking about tonight, want to skip step 2. It is by far the most important step in the whole process, and it's what you'll come back to when you have any objections to deal with. And you also want to tag any invited people who might be particularly interested in a post that you put up within the event invite in the comments of the post. I noticed that Rachel did that, I think, with a post about size in our current event invite. Like if you're talking to somebody about a specific program already, or if they ever expressed interest in a specific program and there's a post up about that, or if there's a transformation story or success story that's shared that you know would really resonate with someone you're talking to, like for instance, there's someone that I'm talking to that has 6 children, and I happen to share a success story of a challenger who became a coach who has 6 children. You know, that would be a post for me to tag this specific mom in because she could relate to it, and I want to make sure that she sees it. Any questions about anything there so far? I can't see everybody while I'm looking at it in this view, so just, I guess, type in the chat if you have any questions. Okay, so you then actually do the invitation to the challenge group by private messaging everyone that you invited to the event invite. So if you invited 60 people, then you want to try to do 5 a day. If you invited 100, you want to try and do 10 a day. And that might sound like, oh, that's so many people to invite. It's not. It's you're copying and pasting a message, like the example of the one that I have here. I said, hi, I hope you had a great weekend. Have you had a chance to check out the event invite that I sent you for the Attitude of Gratitude 30-day Health and Fitness Challenge group? And then here is something that is extremely key. I copied and pasted the link to the event invite right there. And you do that for 2 reasons. Because if you just say to that person, did you see the event invite I sent you? The only response that you're going to get back is, oh, no, but I'll check it out. And then the conversation ends there, right? So you want to make sure they don't have a reason to look away from the conversation. And the other reason, as I said below, is because when you do that, the cover image from the event invite populates within the private message. So it puts a big fat image there on the bottom. So it's very eye-catching, and it's going to make the people more likely to click on it because they see that cover photo. And then continuing on from there, I said, if not, please feel free to take a look and let me know if you'd like to learn more. The group starts on November 16th, so we're approaching the deadline to grab a spot. I know we discussed this a while ago. This is someone I'm reaching out to from a long time ago. So as a reminder, the group offers support, motivation, and accountability, a community of moms like you, busy, real, doing their best, quick, effective at-home workouts, an easy and natural approach to bettering your nutrition, a little something about me. And then, does this sound like something you would be interested in? You want to end with that question. You don't want to just say something where they don't feel the need to respond. So you want to ask them a direct question there. So that is how you actually send an invitation with the event invite. And then you can check off if you're using your bubble sheet like I am and trying to get to 100 no's this month. If you're doing that, then you write their name in the little bubble. And then it counts as an invitation. Another thing is you want to check the people who have RSVP'd yes and interested list every day for new responses. And even though you will receive a notification on Facebook about it, you know, if you're like me and you get about 1,000 notifications a day, it's pretty hard to keep track of that. So at night, I go to the event invite and I make sure to go thoroughly through the list for any new names added, and then I write them down into the people that I'm going to message. Something else, something else that you might consider is if you're not somebody who wants to do something that's very public, if you want to kind of dip your toe in the water, or if you have like a separate community, or like if let's say there's like a town group that you work with, or a school group, or there's like a crew of friends you have where like you all grew up together, something where there's a cohesive aspect to a certain group of people in your life, then create a secret or private Facebook event invite and do it just for those people and have it tailored completely towards them. You know, if you're trying to build kind of a stronger local contingent, that would be a really cool thing to do. Or if you wanted to be just moms from one of your kids' classes, or just dads, or whoever you can relate to specifically, you can do a more private one and just have it totally tailored towards them, like you're talking to friends. So that way, if you're not someone who loves being public, but you want to try doing this, that's a nice way to do it. Do we have a message up here? Hold on. Okay, what is the bubble sheet that you are filling in? Dina, the bubble sheet is something, so I think I've talked about it on 2 of the more recent team calls, but I'll show you my bubble sheet. I don't know if you can see that, but I have this up in my team group, and I'm sure Jen has access to this too, but it's just going for no, and basically it's trying to get yourself to 100 no's as fast as possible. So the idea behind it is to make no kind of a victory instead of something that scares you away, and it's also just a really great way to increase your numbers in general and hold yourself accountable. Okay, great, and Jen said she'll post it. So that's that. Moving on. The next topic that I'm going to talk about, so does anybody have any questions about event invites before I move on to the next invitation thing? All right, just pop a question in online chat if you want to, if you think of anything. But the next thing is inviting to coach recruitment events, and since we have our coach recruitment event next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I want to make sure that you know who to reach out to for this. So first of all, if you have a like page on Facebook that you've created for your coaching business, this is definitely the kind of thing that you want to spend a couple dollars on and boost an ad or boost your post for each day, basically from now right up until that day. Jen is going to talk about good ways to post on Facebook after this, so she'll kind of cover that. But as far as who you want to private message and invite directly to the 1-hour coach recruitment event, obviously anybody that you think would make a great coach, anybody who is involved in a pre-existing fitness business. So maybe you have friends who are yoga teachers, fitness instructors, personal trainers, anybody that is associated with health or fitness in their professional lives. They have like a leg up, and this is such an easy way to integrate something else into their pre-existing business. You know, if you think about people that work in gyms and things like that, they may be sending people to GNC to go buy creatine, you know, or go buy some nutrition shake as their advice, but they're not making any commission off of that. So if you know somebody who's in that kind of business, you know, think about what Shakeology and the Beachbody Performance line and the Shakeology Boost line can do for them. Just that alone would be extra money in their pocket, and they're doing what they already are doing. So that is a really, really important kind of person to think about. Just, you know, think about anybody associated with those categories and invite. Former challengers who did not continue as coaches. You should be checking in with those people anyway, because you're still their coach, right? If you did have somebody who was a challenger but didn't continue on, check in and say, how's it going lately? Do you think getting back into the challenge groups would help you with your goal? Remember, it's just an easy sign up. Plus, if you want to drink Shakeology again, it's 25% off. That's just like a very soft, easy way to approach people. Think about people you know who could use extra money, people who have given you a price objection in the past. Well, here's a way, you know, that you can make back the money that you spend on your challenge pack fairly quickly. I'll hold your hand through it. Come learn about the opportunity. people, and I forgot to put this on the list, but other people who do direct sales, there's especially a lot of moms who do direct sales businesses as a way to either stay at home or a way to make some extra money. And a lot of people want to take on one more thing. So think about the people who do that. There are definitely several people on our teams that do more than one direct sales kind of business. People who are interested in Beachbody in general. Last month when we did this event, not only did new coaches sign on, but there were a bunch of people that are joining us. They were just so excited hearing about the challenge group that they wanted to start as challengers, because the coach recruitment event really highlights what we have to offer as far as support and motivation within the challenge group itself. So people who you didn't get to come on this month, you kind of missed that window, will think, okay, this is another way to speak to them about the challenge group itself. And you also, and this is very key, something that really stood out to us last time, is that you want to invite your brand new coaches, and you want to invite any hobby coaches on your team that have ever expressed or wondered if doing something more with coaching might benefit them. Don't forget about these people, because they're right there on your team, and the 1 hour event is just like a really wonderful way to get a feel for the culture of our teams and to get a feel for what we do. For your new coaches and hobby coaches, they can learn so much without even having to do the quickest training we have, which is the 8-day quick start training via email, or without doing the 30-day coach basics training. They could learn so much by participating in the group this way. So do not forget to reach out to your coaches about that. And then, next slide, things that you want to remember to express when talking about the recruitment event. The event is totally casual. It is not a commitment in and of itself. People do not have to talk during it. They don't even have to like or comment. They don't have to do anything but window watch. This is as casual as it gets. So there's no pressure on people. Remember that there will be prizes, that we will do 2 raffles. Everyone loves free stuff, so anyone who has any interest in Beachbody might want to just pop in and see if they can win some free Shakeology or win the bigger prize that we offer at the end. The posts will remain up for the remainder of the week. So if they hop on late, if they're saying, oh, I have something till 9:30 that night, I can't get on right at 9, or if they are afraid 1 hour is not enough time for them to learn, they can check out the information later. We will leave up the posts in the group for the remainder of the week. So even if someone comes to you the next day and asks, you can just pop them in the group then, let them look around. That's totally fine. Really express to people that they have nothing to lose. And promoting right up until the very last minute is key, which is why when I was saying if you have a like page, you'd want to boost the ad about this right up until the night of the event, because this is the kind of thing, Facebook events, live events, are the kind of thing that people decide to do at the very last second. They happen to be like watching a TV show and they have their computer or their iPad in front of them at the same time, and they're like, what the heck, why not just go over right at that moment? People who did not plan to look at it at all. So promote and stay present and visible right up until the last possible second. So that is the end of what I'm going to say about coach recruiting. Does anyone have a question about that? If you have questions, pop them in online chat, and Jen is going to now talk about posting about the challenge groups or anything that you're inviting to on Facebook.
Hey guys, so first we're just going to talk about posting on Facebook about challenge groups. You hear us say this all the time, but we really, really mean it. Share, don't sell, okay? We want to hear about your experiences and your success. I don't care if Autumn Calabrese is in a stock photo. That's not going to mean anything to anybody. But you posting your picture, you could be holding the 21 Day Fix DVDs or holding your weights or holding your resistance band and saying like, hey, you know what? A week ago, I couldn't do 2 push-ups and now I just did 5. This is awesome. I got so much motivation from my challenge group today. I think tomorrow I'm going to do 6. If you need motivation like this, why don't you come see what it's all about? Things like that. Share your experiences rather than stock pictures. I almost cringe now when I see those on my newsfeed. because it's really more, there are so many Beachbody coaches. There are like 300,000 of us out there, and there's a reason why some are more successful than others, and that's because they share their experiences and share their whys and their stories a lot more. So I encourage each and all of you to do that so that you can build successful businesses, because you're what it's all about. They need to build a connection to you and want to work with you, and you sharing your story is going to do that. So I thought the best way to show you how powerful that could be is to show you some ads that I thought were fantastic from members of both of our teams. So Sharice, if you can go to the next page.
Sure.
So right here, so we have ads from Kristen and from Rachel. These ladies did a great job. You know, yes, Kristen integrated a stock picture, but she's got herself, she's got her food, she's got her experiences with the refresh, which is fantastic. Rachel has her experience with yoga and how she loves that it's in the 21-day fix. And then they mentioned the challenge groups. These are eye-catching. These are going to get people to say, oh, wait, hold on. What's Rachel doing? What's Kristen doing? I need to read this. So this is what I want to say. Can we go to the next page? This one was awesome too. Janine did this one with all her kids and all the programs and her superhero cape there. So she's got, you know, it was long, so that's why I have it broken up into two different ones. She's got all the things she's involved with. My goodness, she is a busy woman, 4 kids, PTA, teen mom, all that jazz. And then she's talking about how she gets all this stuff from the challenge groups. And then she mentions, you know, that at the end that she's looking for 15 busy moms and dads to help get their superpowers back. This is smart marketing. This is sharing her story, and she got a tremendous amount of attention and challengers from this post. So this is the kind of thing that's going to be getting people to notice you. And then this is some examples of Sharice and mine. So we're having our kids, we're having, you know, sharing our stories. So that way, you know, what we're all about, you know. So Sharice has her cute little kids there. And, you know, that right then when I see a picture of someone's kids, I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And then I'll be more apt to read this. And she's talking all about mamas and having inner strength and, you know, being the backbone of the family. I mean, so many people can relate to that. So, and then she goes into, you know, the challenge group, which is so important. And, you know, in mine, I'm talking about how this shirt is really my recipe for success, because how I felt before the challenge groups and how I'm feeling after. So now, you know, I'm letting people know I'm being vulnerable and sharing like, hey, this is it. This is what was my game changer. So be vulnerable, put out there, you know, you might, when you press post, you might be like, oh my God, I can't believe I just posted that. But you know what? Be vulnerable, because you being vulnerable can help people to make major changes in their lives so that they are healthier and happier. And it's such an amazing feeling when they turn around and say, oh my gosh, I would never have done that if you didn't post that. And people have said that to me. And there's nothing like that feeling, because you're like, wow, really? And I wasn't going to do that until you said that or you posted that. And there's nothing more powerful or rewarding than that. You can go to the next one.
Yeah, something I just want to point out though is, so these are both posts that we did on our like pages. And the kinds of posts that I put up, or the way I word certain things on my like pages, is a little bit different than on my personal page. Like if you look at the bottom of my post here, like learn more by sending me a private message, commenting below with your email address, or emailing ShariceNelson@gmail.com. I wouldn't say all of those things. You know, I would have like a little bit of a more casual approach on my personal page. So, but this is definitely one that I would boost on my like page. And one other thing I wanted to point out is that if you are in our current Emerald training, or if you're in our current Coach Basics training, as you can see, the action items each day involve posting on Facebook. You do not have to make every post a call to action. So every post should not say, join my challenge group, or ask me about my challenge group starting on November 16th, because I'm seeing a lot of that. And although that's so awesome that you're putting yourself out there, you do want to be a little bit more subtle, you know, so maybe have a call to action post like 3 times a week, but not every day. The other times you're just literally sharing your journey. So I just wanted to point that out.
Absolutely, that was a great point. And you want to build value. If you have a like page, you have to make it attractive to people. You know, what are you going to offer them? Are you going to offer them recipes? Are you going to offer them tips? Share things from the Beachbody blog, from the Shakeology blog. There's tons of great information that you can share. You know, you made a dinner that was delicious, share it. Hey, I made a dinner like 2 weeks ago that was awful. It was epic fail. I posted that because you know what? It's not all sunshine and roses. And you need to let people know that so that they realize you're a real person. So that's my spiel on sharing, not selling. Any questions on that? All right, start sharing, stop selling. So now we're going to go through inviting via private messages. So I have like kind of 2 different scenarios here that I wanted to run through. Hold on, your little faces are covering the thing. Okay, so in scenario 1, we just don't want to be sending out blind private messages to people. Hey, join my challenge group. That's not going to work. You should already be in a non-Beachbody conversation with someone that you want to invite. You want to form them. You want to build a relationship. And then, and only then, send them a message along the lines of, you know, something like, I'm sure you've seen my health and fitness posts. It's become a real passion of mine. I run 30-day fitness motivation groups on Facebook every month, and I'd love to tell you more about them. Would that be okay? I always end with, would that be okay, or would you mind? Because most people are like, okay. You know, they don't want to be rude, which is nice. So people often say, okay, what is it? Or, you know, if they're in a gym or whatever and they're very happy with what they're doing, they'll say, oh, you know what, that's great. You're doing really well, and I'm doing really well with what I'm doing. And I say, hey, that's awesome. Way to go. I'll keep checking in on you if that's okay. And they say, fine. And then I put them on my 2-week check-in list. And every 2 weeks I check in on them. So that's definitely a way to go, but do not blindly message people. Now, in the course of forming or reconnecting with someone, you know, they're going to be seeing your Facebook page, and hopefully they'll be seeing your posts. So if the person comments on your progress or on one of your posts, there's your open door. You need to definitely take advantage of that opportunity. You want to tell them how the challenge groups have impacted you and made such a difference. You want to ask them what their goals are and what they struggle with, because 99.9% of the time, our groups will address that struggle. So, you know, people will say, I just don't have time to work out. Oh, really? You know, I found in my groups, I know it sounds crazy, but I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I work out. Oh, that's nuts. And like, you know what? I used to think that too, until I joined this group and I had all these people supporting me. And now I get up every morning and I work out and I feel great the entire day. And people are like, oh, okay. And it kind of changes their mindset about it. Or, you know, I have kids that won't, you know, they're not going to eat all, you know, carrot sticks every day. Oh no, we share lots of recipes in our challenge groups. Almost all of us have kids and we deal with that all the time. So, you know, I've gotten a lot of great recipes that my kids have really enjoyed from the challenge groups. So you want to kind of realize, kind of share the value of the challenge groups. We don't want to start with what's on sale or, you know, here's my link to order. Nothing like that, please. So that would be scenario number 1 if you're reaching out to someone from your page who you're friends on your regular Facebook page. Now, if you, okay. So if a person who you're a friend with comments on something on your regular page, so maybe you weren't in the process of forming them or you weren't involved in a conversation with them, but you put up a post and they liked it or they commented it. You don't want to ignore that. So what I usually do is I'll send a message that says like, you know, thanks so much for liking my post. It means so much to me. If you ever want to hear what I'm up to that's helping me achieve my fitness goals, let me know. It's something just kind of general. And now I put my person on that list. Okay, this is someone I need a form that I need to put on my prospect list to really start reconnecting with, because obviously they're interested in health and fitness or else they wouldn't have liked that post. Now the next one is specifically about like pages. People don't have to like your page to like a post on your page, because people can see your page even if they don't like your page, your like page this is. So when someone likes or comments on your like page, I always send them a message that says something along the lines of, hey there, I noticed you like to post on my page, Jen Holdman Fitness, thanks. I love to connect with people who value health and fitness. Please like my page if they haven't liked it already, and please send me a friend request. Now, this does go to the other folder in your Facebook inbox, but I have had good success with people sending me friend requests. Facebook gets mad at you if you start friending all these people, because you'll get a pop-up that says, you know, only friend people you actually know in real life, don't friend strangers, and blah, blah, blah. And if you do too many, you're going to find that they're going to stop letting you, they put all these restrictions on your page and don't let you do things. So I send this message to them, and then I wait for them to friend me. Now, in an event, like Cherie said before, we can create events and people can just see it who we're not friends with because it's a public event. If they like or comment on there, what I do is, as a comment on that particular post, that message that I just said, I just read to you, I'll put that right in the event so that people know to like my page and to friend me. And I just did that for the first time this month, and actually 3 people friended me and liked my page from that. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Why didn't I think to do that before? So, you know, and I do circle back if people have not seen the message, because you can see if they've seen it. And I do send it again a couple of times, and then sometimes they'll see it on the second time, which is good. Or I'll send like one of those cute little like minion guys doing a happy dance or whatever, because they just have to notice the number 1 next to the other side, other in their inbox, for them to look there so that they can see what your message says. So I definitely encourage you to do it. You know what? Even if 3 people out of 20 accept your friend request, well, that's 3 people who might be interested, and 3 people you might be able to help. So it's worth sending a message. And then the last thing we wanted to end with, I know some of you were on the call on Monday on Team Perseverance call with the 15-star Diamond Becky, who was really, really amazing. And I posted, and I'm sure Sharice did also, the recording on our team pages. So if you want to watch the whole call live, I mean, she's a 15-star Diamond. And for me, it was refreshing and encouraging to hear she struggles just as much as the rest of us. But you know what? She had these tips that I thought were fantastic. So Sharice and I wanted to share them here to help you get past the struggle and help you to realize, like, it's going, you know, you just have to stay in it and you can't give up. So basically at this point, ask yourself, like, are you saying, oh, this is a busy time of the year, I'm just going to take a break and come back in January? Or are you saying, I am in the fire even if it's tough? I don't care if it's Thanksgiving. I don't care if it's Christmas. I'm going to keep inviting. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to hit Success Club 5. Which camp are you in? You want to be in the camp that's around the fire, that's brainstorming and willing to do whatever you have to do to get it done. Because once you say, I'm going to take a break and come back in January, I've seen that time and time again, people don't really come back. Once you fall off for so long like that, it's really, really hard to get back in the groove. So my advice and her advice, I thought it was fabulous, is don't get out of the fire. Stay in. Even if it's hard, fight through. Personal development is key. I find that is the thing that people slack off on the most and think that there's no value in it. And I know when I'm not doing it, it's when I'm most stressed. And I sit back, I go, wow, what the heck is going on? I'm like, I know. I haven't done my personal development. So I listen to Audible on the way to and on the way home from work each and every day. So there's no excuses. You know, listen to it while you're in the shower. Everyone's got a shower. You know, there's always an opportunity to have at least 10 minutes of personal development every day. And then this I thought was great. Share inspirational quotes or films daily that speak to your struggles, goals, and dreams. And you could just Google these on YouTube. There are lots of great short videos that you can share on your regular page, on your like page. I've been sharing them on our team. That really, really make you feel pumped up and motivated and, you know, kind of get you a little more centered. So I think that was a great suggestion. And this one is something that I definitely have to keep reminding myself of all the time. Control the controllable. You are the only thing you can control. You cannot control what your coaches do. You cannot control what your challengers do. You cannot control anything except yourself. So you know what? Control yourself and pick and decide that you are going to do the best you can. Pick a program, finish it, stick with the program, be the model. Show your challengers what it looks like when someone is sticking to a program 110%. Be intentional. This goes along with sharing, not selling. Tell a story, empower people, be focused, show up. you know what? Christmas is coming, Hanukkah's coming, it's going to be crazy. So, you know what? You might be out shopping late, whatever. Show up. Make sure you're posting in those challenge groups each and every day. If you're going to be away for the weekend, schedule your post through Hootsuite. On your like page, you can schedule your post as well. And also be forward thinking in terms of income, rank, financial goals. Make a list of your dream team for 2016. I thought this was awesome. And I actually, after listening to this call, I feel like, Michael Jordan, I've got my dream team. So I have people that I am forming right now that I'm not talking anything Beachbody, anything about the business, products, nothing. Just forming relationships with these people, because it's my intention as the new year comes to then start discussing it with them, because if they became coaches on my team, I think they would be amazing coaches. So who's your dream team? Get out a piece of paper and write it down. It's really, really important. Don't sell anything, just create the bond. A couple of the coaches are saying they're reading the Energy Bus. I am reading that now. I'm listening to it now. I love it. No more energy vampires for me. It is helping me so much. I highly, highly recommend it. Could we just go to the last one, Therese? Mm-hmm. And then don't forget why we're doing this. This whole business, this whole process, it's not a one-night stand. It's a marriage. We're here to help people for the long term. It is, yes, Dina, I did form you for a year. Yes, I did, my dear cousin. You know what? It's not going to take them 5 minutes to lose that weight. It's going to take months and months and months. And it might take months and months and months for them to get the courage to join the challenge group. So you need to hang in there with them. You need to support them. And you need to show that you're just as dedicated to their desire to want to change. And believe you will be successful. And that will help change your mindset from negative to positive. You have to believe you can do it. When you start getting down on yourself, it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, all right, I'm going to be terrible. I'm not going to get anybody this month. Well, then you're not going to get anybody. I'm pretty confident that will happen. Now, as the new year comes, and Therese and I will definitely be speaking with you about this, but, you really want to sit down and come up with those 2016 goals. And in the Beachbody world, we've got Summit in July. So we want to have some goals that you want to hit by Summit. So I want you to start brainstorming about that and really put some serious thought into it. Where do you want to be? Because a lot can happen between now and then. So, right, Therese? I mean, this time last year, we were both diamond coaches, and now we're both, Therese is 5-star qualifying, on track to elite, which is incredible. I'm a 3-star diamond. So, I mean, so much can change in just a few months. So don't think it's out of reach. It can happen. Anyone have any questions or anything?
Yeah, or have any objections that they want help with answering? You can type it in the chat or unmute yourself.
Yeah, if there's a common objection that you're hearing that you want to get some advice, you can, just type or unmute. Anybody? We're all good?
All right.
All right, everyone's going to have 15 challengers for the December group.
Wait, Bonnie says it's too expensive. That was my objection for a year. Okay, so if it was your objection for a year, that's just a perfect way to start the conversation, right? Because you can say, I can absolutely relate, right? It was too expensive for me for a year, but you have to think about why you finally made the decision to go for it, like why you decided to invest in your health. And that's a phrase that I like to use a lot. You told me what your why is, and you always want to parrot back people's why, right? Like, so if they say, I just, I want to lose this baby weight. It's been 5 years since I had a baby and I carry it around and I feel so self-conscious and I feel like I don't have the energy to play with my kids, then you find those words and copy and paste them back in your response and say, I know that you've been feeling like this, right? Remind them of what they said to you. That is a big part of why you get people's why in step 2 of the 5-step invitation process. And then say, do you think that it would be worth it to invest in your health, to take away this feeling that has been with you for 5 years? You've told me that you've tried Weight Watchers. You've told me that you've tried this. You told me that you've tried that. Or, whatever the why is, the why I prioritize everybody else, but I never take care of myself. How long are you going to let this go on? You have to be straight with people and really not be afraid to kind of put their why right back at them. And if they truly, truly don't have the money to spend, a lot of people hide behind the money objection. So you have to determine if people are hiding behind that, just like not ready, not wanting to commit and just saying it, or if they really mean it, then say, okay, well, I totally understand that. First of all, I have a free 7-day group coming up, so you can join us in the free group, and that would be a great way to just get started. I can help you. I can hold your hand, right? You can try some of the Beachbody workouts for free. Maybe you say, I'll send you a sample of a Shakeology packet sample. Sorry, seeing another objection come out. We'll get to that one next. But show them that you're willing to invest your time in to them. You want to show them that you're going to help them, even if they say no to doing this challenge group, because you want to be their coach. And then you can ask them, how long do you think it will take you to save up for this challenge pack? $140. Do you think you could set aside $5 a day? Is that a reasonable goal? Don't be afraid, if people have already shared so much with you, to talk to them and really be just flat out honest and address the issue that they're throwing at you. Because if they're saying they can't afford it, then you want to help them with that too. So say, should I follow up with you next month? Would it be okay for me to, reach out to you every 2 weeks? What can we do until you get started as a way for me to help you? So when people realize that you're not going away, you're not going to just disappear because they're saying no right now. And when people realize that you're investing in them, they are more likely to invest in you and invest in their health and invest in having you as a coach. So, Jen, I don't know if you have anything to add or anybody else.
The other thing is, while I'm talking with someone, I'll tend to ask how their nutrition is now. I'll ask, do you eat out a lot? Do you stop and get, Starbucks a lot and stuff like that? So, and the reason I ask that is because when they say I don't have money, is then I say, okay, well, here's the good news. You're not going to be going to McDonald's anymore. You're not going to be going to go get, all those fast foods and Starbucks Frappuccino, whatever's. So there's your $5 a day that you're going to need for your challenge pack. I like to divide whatever the challenge pack they want, divide by 30 and give them a day price. It doesn't seem as bad that way. So it's a lot more palatable. And when I say, oh, it's $5 a day, how much was that Frappuccino? Oh, it's like a wash. So, people, when I put it that way, it seems to go over well. And then the second objection, Dina was asking me about the shake, giving me a bad stomach ache, gas, or extra time in the potty. The first time so they've already, in this objection, they've already tried it. So what I would say to that is, did you try half a scoop? What were you making it with? People make it with the strangest things. People will make it with whole milk sometimes. People will make, it blows my mind. People make it with all sorts of weird concoctions. So whenever anyone explains that they're having any kind of stomach issues, I always suggest a half a scoop first, because your body is getting this dense dose of nutrition. Sometimes your body is like, whoa, that's a little much for me right now. And that's why you get the stomach ache and the gas and some other bathroom issues. But usually it resolves itself after a week or two. Your body has to get used to it. So I have one coach who has to have half a scoop in the morning and half a scoop at night, but you know what? It works for her and she's happy with the results she's getting. And I share that story with someone who's saying that objection. So, or people who say, oh yeah, I tried Shakeology, I didn't like it. It's like, oh yeah, how did you make it? And I wait to hear. And like, oh, I just threw it in with some water, or I just threw it in with some soy milk. I'm like, oh, did you try adding any fruits, or did you try adding any, anything else like PB2 or anything like that? You know, because I tell people it takes a few times to find like your recipe that's your favorite one. And now I have like 5 recipes that are my favorite. So like, here's a couple that I like. You know, do you like anything in these recipes? And usually like, oh yeah, oh yeah, maybe I'll give it a try. Any other objections you guys are getting? Any other questions or anything else? Busy time of year? Yes, and it is, but I would remind them that it's also a time of year when people pack on the pounds because it's so busy. So it's the best time to get started. You know what? Even if they just don't gain the holiday pounds that they usually gain, that's a success. So, you know, there's no good time. There's always going to be an excuse. There will always be an excuse. It's Monday, it might rain, you know, like I've heard them all. So, you know, you just have, and what I'll tell people is you just have to decide that you are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired and make a change. Are you ready to do that? And if they're ready, they'll say yes. If they're not, I'll say, okay, I'll check in on you next month and, you know, maybe you'll be ready then. I'll put you on my January list.
And also, Maureen, with your kind of theme about self-care, you know, this is the worst time of year as far as stress goes, right? So just having an outlet for your stress at this time of year and the craziness with running around and buying people presents and preparing meals and all of that, just to have an outlet during this time of year is so key. And I do think that would be a great message for everyone to really be sharing in their Facebook posts about how this is a time of year when it is stressful, and our challenge groups are also an answer for that, because not everybody is joining our challenge groups to lose weight. You know, that is definitely not a common thread for everybody. So think about the mental and emotional benefits as well.
Definitely. And oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, and I'm seeing Maureen's response. Okay, awesome. And then I saw Eleanor had asked about, do we have a December challenge group? That was in the, I know you hopped on late, that was in the announcements at the beginning. It starts December 14th because of the holidays. So yes, we are having one, 2 free groups starting on December 1st, and the actual challenge group starting on the 14th. So yes.
And just another sort of way to combat, it's busy, it's the holidays, it's such a hard time of the year. Share with them that our challenge group is going to share healthy holiday recipes. It's going to help you to survive this time. Like I know I posted in our group today, healthy Thanksgiving recipes. You know, people were like, oh, this is great, you know, because they weren't thinking like you could have healthy food on a holiday. So, you know, we'll band together to get through it, you know. Oh, the kids have to go to bed. Anybody else?
Bonnie, that's awesome that you have someone that's saving for a challenge pack and to join. That's great.
Oh, that's awesome. And
just make sure that you're providing value for that person up until he or she actually purchases, and you still act as their coach. And then I see the discussion about the protein shake, but it seems like you guys know obviously how to explain that.
And the Tony Horton videos are great for that too. You know, like the supermarket video where he's like chinging everything, you know, checking everything, ding, 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 ding. It's like, yeah, that's got a lot more, you know. And even his video on the boosts is fantastic. You know, he's a little goofy, but he's funny.
I send that video to people who give me that same objection. People think it's just a regular protein shake. They don't understand why it's so much more than the regular protein shakes at GNC. And I do send them that video to help them understand that it's so much more than just a protein shake. So it does help.
And it's short. People aren't going to watch a 10-minute video that's explaining each molecule. It's just not going to happen. You want something that's going to be 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes that's going to grab their attention, and his goofiness grabs their attention. So it's a great one to share.
And sometimes with protein, people just think of whey protein, you know, because that's typically how they are at GNC. But if you talk about the vegan formula and that, the protein actually comes from pea protein, if you're, talking with people who really value more like whole food sources, which obviously Shakeology offers either way, but going through the protein breakdown of the vegan formula is also really helpful when having that discussion.
Anybody else have questions or any other objections? All right, awesome. So just a reminder, we will not have a Team Spark Team Fit and Natural call next Wednesday. You have the night off, but I hope to see everybody Monday for Tanya. It's going to be so awesome. I've met her. Sharice has met her. She's super nice, and she's an amazing coach. So she's an elite coach. We're really going to learn a lot from her, so I'm excited to hear what she has to say. I will post the sign-in information in an event on our page, and Sharice will post it as well. And then let's get inviting for our coach event. Let's get some new coaches.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for the time. Good night.
Good night, guys.